I loved having Cory come visit, but he's got to leave already. I'll miss him when he's back in Toronto.
When you feel lonely, remember, God is a friend that is always nearby. Do you ever feel lonely? My name is Zach, and this is Keys for Kids. Sometimes I do. Even though I have friends and family, I can still feel like I'm less than important or that I just don't fit in. If you've ever felt that way, remember this. God made trillions of stars, and He knows each one by name. Plus, there are more than 7 billion people in the world, and God knows their names, and He knows how many hairs are on each of their heads. That means He knows all about you and loves you too. Our story today is called Stars in the Sky. "Wow, look at all the stars, Cory," Sam exclaimed, pointing up at the sky. "It's the perfect night for stargazing." "I've never seen so many stars before," Cory said. "The city lights from street lamps and buildings block out most of the stars where I live." "I'm so glad you came to my house for the weekend, but I wish you could stay longer," Sam said. "There's no way we'll be able to do everything we planned. It feels like so long since we saw each other." Cory had moved to Toronto a few months before, and this was the first time he'd been able to see his friend again. "What's it like living in the big city?" asked Sam. "You must have tons of new friends now. There are so many people." "Not really," Cory replied. "You can feel just as lonely when you're in a crowd in the city. I made some friends at my new church and school, but I still miss my friends here." "I know how you feel," Sam said. "I'll miss you again at school on Monday." Sam sighed. "The universe is so big. I know the Bible says God is always with us, but it doesn't feel like it. I still get lonely." Cory thought for a moment, then he said, "Well, even when I feel lonely in our new house, I know I'm not alone. I guess it's kind of like the stars." "How?" asked Sam. "Even when we can't see the stars, like when it's daytime or there are too many lights in the city, we know the stars are still there," Cory explained. "And even when we don't feel like Jesus is with us, He still is, because He promises He will always be with us." Sam nodded. "I think I understand." Cory went on. "The Bible says God created everything, the stars and us too. And even though there are billions of stars and billions of people, there's a verse that says God knows the numbers of stars in the sky and knows them each by name. And we're even more important to Him than the stars. Jesus died for us. He cares for us and doesn't forget about us." "Thanks, Cory," Sam smiled. "I'll remember that at school on Monday." So what about you? Do you ever feel lonely? Even though there are billions of people in the world, God knows you by name. He loves all of us so much that He sent His Son Jesus to earth to save us from sin, and He promises to always be with those who trust in Him. If you know Jesus, He is with you, even when it doesn't feel like it. Remember, you are important to Him. Our key verse is found in the Psalms chapter 147, verse 4.
He determines the number of the stars and calls them each by name.
And our key thought, Jesus is always with you. When you read the Bible yourself, you might come across something that you don't understand and you want a little help figuring it out. I'd love to be there for you and help you answer your questions. All you've got to do is get your parents' permission, then go to keysforkids.org/HeyZach to let me know what you're trying to figure out. Your question could be featured in an issue of the Keys for Kids print devotional. Again, send me your questions at keysforkids.org/HeyZach. I would love to help you out. As always, my name is Zach. Thanks for listening to Keys for Kids. Do me a favor, share Keys for Kids with a friend, and I'll catch you both right back here tomorrow.